Okay, so I'm just testing at the moment, just testing, and I'm just going to check it on Facebook. And is that the one? I see it isn't actually. Okay, I thought that was actually the link, but it isn't. All right, so it's got audio. So in theory, it is brilliant. Brilliant. It works. Wow. Okay. And we're 2 minutes early and it's working. Wow. Okay. That's unbelievable. All right. Okay, so I'm just leaving you a comment to comment on YouTube directly, because that's where I'll be looking. I won't be looking at Facebook. I think I should have left enough clues by now that we're not on Facebook tonight. Okay, and obviously if you don't know that, you won't even hear me saying this. So there we go. But I think we're happening. I think we're happening. I think I've left you enough clues. I really do. And the audio was coming out, which is stunning. Oh, hang on, I don't know if it's something I haven't done. Okay, so I am recording tonight's show. Okay, I am recording tonight's show. So don't say anything or type anything that you don't want the world to know. Okay? So don't type anything that you don't want the world to know. Okay, so we're coming up to the mark. Recording is on. We seem to be going out live, and that's all fantastic. And it's working without any technical hitches tonight, which is the first time in 5 episodes. Anyway, here we go. Okay, hello and welcome to Beautiful Communities. This is show number 5, and for once we've had no technical hitches, so I'm going to try and get straight to it. And you're welcome to please comment on YouTube directly, because that's where I'm going to be looking for comments. I do have the ability now to take up to 9, which would be crazy, but anyway, 9 hosts, 9 co-presenters. If you want to join me, then messenger me, and I'll give you a special host link. And that's kind of it. So let me just try and get the screen share to work, because that's the one bit I haven't tested, of course. And it looks like that's going to work. Wow, it's just going too well. Okay. I shouldn't have said that, should I? Anyway, fingers crossed. Okay, so I think that's still going out. I think we're doing good. I think that's what you can see. Let's change that. Yeah, it does. Brilliant. Of course, that's wrong. That should be number 5. That's the trouble with copy and paste, is you have to edit it afterwards. Anyway, I'm just flummoxed that it's working. So wow. Okay, let's start. So, tonight's show basically is about avoiding Groundhog Day. Okay, and which is kind of a segue into productivity in isolation. Because the trouble is, when you work from home, it's a very different kind of thing, because you can basically just roll out of bed, even without getting dressed or washing or anything, which I don't recommend at all. But you can, and just go straight to work. And also, because you're at home, if you have anybody else at home, it's very hard for them to understand what you're doing. and why you can't just come and play with them instead of doing silly stuff, locked in your room. And they don't get it. And I don't blame them for not getting it. And the other thing that you'll find is that you'll work much longer hours. So, people are worried that people will work at home and Skype off, but the reality is you work more hours because you don't have to waste time traveling. So instead of spending an hour getting to work and an hour coming back, guess what you do during that time, that travel time? You work. So instantly your day is 2 hours longer than everybody else's, and I'm assuming it only takes you an hour to get to work. And, you probably miss your breaks and you miss lunch, and you'll work late, overtime as well. And, and you won't waste time, hopefully, doing stuff that you would normally do to avoid working at work. So we work much longer hours when we work from home. And, if this opportunity, has created that for you where you're suddenly working at home and you never have before, this is all going to be foreign to you. And, the temptation is going to be that you're going to work much longer hours and you'll get way less done and you'll feel super tired, which isn't a great start, is it? So let's see what we can do about that. And the other thing about working from home is, you do get this Groundhog Day, whereas, as I say, you can roll out of bed, start work and not stop if unless you force yourself. And you just do that day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. Okay. And although it should be super enjoyable, because you haven't got people breathing down your neck and stuff like that, it isn't. Okay, so we need to fix this. Okay, and that's what we're going to try and do today. So yesterday, in yesterday's show, we talked about realistic goals. Okay, and I shared with you that I have a 10x rule in that however long I think it's going to take, even if I err on the conservative side and know that it's going to take me longer, it still takes me longer. It can at least be at least 10 times more. So if I think it's going to take me a day, it could take me 10 days. Okay. And the other thing to really note about that is that's 10 working days. So if anything comes up in between, like the weekend, and for some amazing superpower, I managed to actually take the weekend off and not work at home again, still more, then that would make interrupt the 10 days and make the 10 days longer. And if another project comes in, or you have to go and do a quote for another project down the road or whatever it is, then again that 10 days isn't going to be in a straight line. It's going to be interrupted with all sorts of things. Maybe there's a special event, anniversary, and you madly decide to take the day off work. Then that's another interruption. So it's 10 straight days if they existed, and they won't exist. So 10 days of work might end up to be more like 20 days of interrupted time. Okay, so although it's a 10x rule, it could literally, and I'm not exaggerating, it could literally take 20 days because you get interrupted and other projects come up, and it's rare that you can work on one thing at a time, exclusively. So, that's the way it goes. And, obviously, I know it sounds ridiculously scary and you don't believe me, but, if I thought it was going to take me a month to do it, it's actually going to take me 10 months to do it. And realistically, it's going to take me 20 months with interruptions. And I know that 20 months sounds insane and it couldn't possibly take that long, but I can actually assure you that it does. Because if you think you're going to program something like a SaaS, software as a service solution, a bit of online software, that could easily take 10 months to build. But as I say, there'll be interruptions. and there'll be days when you just don't feel like doing it, and all sorts of things like that. And you'll change your mind as to what it should be, and you might scrap it and start again because you're not happy, or you think you did it the wrong way or something like that. So it literally can take that long. I'm on my third year now. No, actually, no, on my fourth year now of doing this really simple project that I had in mind that was only going to take 3 months. And this is now the fourth year that I still haven't finished it. Now, obviously, it's not, a super high priority. It's something that I just really want to do. But I'm still on the fourth year, and it's still not finished. So, realistic goals. Now, if I was beating myself up every day about that, which sometimes I do because I'm only human, then that would add to that load and make it even longer, because it would make me feel, demoralized and demotivated, and make me think that the project wasn't worth it. Why am I self-sabotaging myself to not finish it? All these things would put me off even trying to finish it, and making me think, should I give up on this? I'm never ever going to finish it. So, you can see how all these things are bad. And so realistic goals are really important. And we need to be fair with ourselves, to how long things take, basically. Basically that's it. What's that thing doing? Okay, I don't know what that one is. Anyway, okay. So that's that. I was just gonna quickly check Facebook one more time, just to make sure I am going out, because I really hope that I am. Hang on, Project Smile. There we go. There it is. It should be at the top of the post. And let me just check that it takes me to YouTube. I shouldn't have closed it really. And that it's working. Because I hate talking to myself. I don't know why. It should be a good conversation, but for some reason, I hate talking to myself. Right, okay, there we go. Let's just make sure we've got audio. Should be at the top of the post. There we go, brilliant it is. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, but keep it in pause. Okay, so that's brilliant. So hang on, I forgot to put, please comment here. Okay, so please comment on YouTube itself. Okay, there should be a little panel, top or bottom, right or bottom, where you can type. That's where I'll be looking for, for your feedback and, what you understand, don't understand, want me to do next, what you disagree with, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so getting back to it. So realistic goals, so the most important thing is have realistic goals, but, whatever you do, do not beat yourself up about deadlines. Okay, and as we said yesterday, any progress towards, my favorite word is towards, is, frankly, it's amazing. I know you may not think it is, but it's truly amazing. And you should congratulate yourself for making progress towards, your goals or dreams or project or whatever it is. Okay, so how are we going to do this then? How do we avoid all this horrendous stuff that I'm talking about? So the first thing is, and in fact, let me just put another one in here with this, just to remind myself what I'm going to say next, because even I don't know what I'm going to say next. Okay. Anyway, right, so just before we do that, what would actually make a perfect day? What if you could control how work went for you, what would it be like? And really, really what I'm saying is what would the perfect life be? Okay, and these are all going to sound weird and contradictory, and as though it can't possibly be work. But this is what we need to strive for when we're working from home in isolation. And the first one is that we want variety, because nobody that I've met so far wants to do the same thing day in, day out. I just haven't met them, and I certainly don't. Okay, so none of us want to do that. So we actually want variety. So that's one of the things we need to build into our job at home or our working at home is that we have variety. And we'll talk about this more in a minute. But within that variety, we actually also need some kind of routine, in the sense of, something to keep us on track, on the rails. Okay. Not regimented. Okay. Not regimented, but basically, a guideline. Is that how you spell it? I'm not sure. But a guideline. Okay. So again, in a minute, we're going to work out what actually is we should be doing, and then kind of, have an idea what that, what that's going to look like, and how we can, get that to happen. Okay. And then what's the other missing ingredient? If you've got really good eyesight, you've probably seen it written down as a note to myself. Which is, what else would make the perfect, working day or the perfect life? And for me, I mean, you might have other words for it, or you may completely disagree. But what I've summed it up to be for myself is growth, because basically, I'm not happy unless I'm growing. Okay, and growing means, discovering new stuff, doing new things, stretching yourself a little. Okay, not too much that it's too hard, but stretching yourself a little. But, discovering new things and, doing new things and understanding new things. Okay, that's what puts me in the zone, which I talked about on day 2 or 3, whatever it was. And I sum that up as growth. You might have another word for it. You might not, you might respond to something else. But for me, the magic word there is growth. Okay. So, I mean, I am a creative person, and, growth, for me certainly is, being creative. But, being creative means doing new things, you see. So, growth is really about, I think, doing new things. And it's not quite variety. Variety means doing, lots of different things, or not lots, but, different things. But for growth, some of those need to be new things. And that's really the secret for me. And the trouble with most jobs is they don't involve new things. It's about doing one job, particularly well. But when you work at home and you need, this motivation to keep you going, then new things are really, part of it. But, not always new things. Just add in even one new thing a day. Okay, even just one new thing a day. So, like, I mean, when I'm making music, I could always reach for the same sounds every time, because they're great sounds and I know they work and I know where they are. But that, unfortunately, would stifle me creatively. There we go. Because they're the same sounds that I used yesterday. So what I try and do is I just try and bring in one new sound. I don't want to have to find all new sounds, because that would take me ages. Okay, and then finding a set that works together and all that kind of thing. But just by adding one new thing or doing one new thing, that keeps everything fresh and exciting. Okay, so that's my formula, if you like, for the ideal, really that's ideal life, to be honest. And now we need to break that down into, what we can actually, do. Now, which way around should I do this? I need to do that way first. Okay, so the first thing that's going to surprise you, probably, is that you can fill your day with endless crap. Okay? And I'm pretty sure you know that. And you can even do overtime, and still leave not having achieved anything, and certainly not the thing that you wanted to do. Okay, and that's because time's kind of elastic, and we can literally fill it. We can fill our whole day with pointless crap. So we need to be very clear what it is we want to do. Okay, and basically there should be one thing that you must achieve that day, and that's one of the things we need to get done. Okay, and at some point you'll have decided what that is. Okay, now I don't know exactly what job you have, so I'm just going to put it in terms of kind of my entrepreneurial view, which is my AAA method. Okay, and the first one is basically assets. So if there's anything that you can do for your work that you can reuse, okay, then I would give that a priority. Okay? If there's a bit of artwork or a bit of copy or a bit of a process sheet or a list of contacts or anything that you can reuse, basically, that's basically an asset. So for me, because I'm in the creative field, assets tend to be, creative things. But one of the, the best assets that I can do, I mean, obviously I can create content, okay? And you probably may need to do, content, and that might be stuff that you use in marketing. But the other thing that I need to do every day is I need to create adverts. Okay, whether they're static, graphic ads or video ads or whatever. Okay, and then the other thing that I need to do is I need to create assets that engage my audience. Okay, so that might be something that I can share with my audience. As a teaser, for instance, like if I was creating an asset for this show, I would create a little extract, saying what's going to come tonight, and then I would put that up. And it's like it's kind of a free advert, isn't it? So it's not exactly content because it's not going to be long. It's not going to have much. It's not going to be very self-contained, and it's not an advert because I'm not paying for it and I'm not enticing people to to buy something. But I'm creating, teaser content, as a taster of what they can, enjoy later on. Okay, so it's a what's coming kind of thing. But that's because I'm kind of in the creative entertainment field. But it could be the same. If you've got a report to do, you could just do a quick, sub report, or a progress report. And maybe you're fielding questions of what else they need in it, or you ask them if there's anything special you want to include, or you can give them total contents of what you're going to include, or anything like that. And that's kind of a teaser of the work that you're doing that day. Okay, so or it could be preliminary figures of something. Okay, whether it's sales figures or you're an accountant or whatever it is. So, but it keeps people informed. It keeps people in the loop. It means they know what you're doing, and it means that you're on the same page, which is really important most of the time. So, you can almost always create an asset for whatever job you're doing. I mean, until you tell me what jobs you're doing, I can't give you an exact example, but I'm pretty sure that there is content or something that you can reuse for your job, that you need. And if you're a salesman, that might be rehearsing your sales pitch or script, okay? Because that's a skill, okay? Because the asset could also be a skill that you're going to reuse, okay? Because the better you are at whatever you do, the more you're going to be able to use it and reuse it and reuse it every time. So you're creating an asset, okay? The other thing that I need to do is to advertise. Okay, and you need to do that as well, even if you're not actually selling anything, because advertising really just means telling people what you do. Okay, and so that kind of might overlap with what I just said about doing the preliminary reports or that kind of thing. But it's good to tell people what's coming, so that they're ready and they have an idea, as to when. Okay, and you're advertising, that you're doing stuff and that you're being productive and that you're on the case, and again you're getting on the same page. So there's a bit of overlap with assets for that one if you're not actually running your own business. But if you're running your own business, even if you're a freelancer, okay, you need to advertise. Okay, and you need to, if you're a salesman, you need to build your, sales pipeline, as we call it. Okay, you always need to be getting, new leads. Okay, and maybe, depending on what you're doing, maybe you need to get, new staff. You need to recruit, new talent. Depending on what your job is. I don't know what it is yet. So that's basically that. And then the last one, which is a bit weird, and maybe I shouldn't call it automation as such, but basically it's about whatever we can do to streamline, optimize, have to physically do less, not do things manually and have it automated, is going to work. But the other aspect of that really is delivery. So whatever it is you're selling, whether it's a service or anything, at some point we have to deliver it and we have to do customer support. Okay, so ideally we want to automate that as much as possible, but if we can't, it still needs to be done. But that's my third A. Okay, so maybe I should come up with a better word for it. But in an ideal world, we would actually automate that. Okay, and automate that might even mean that we give it to staff or a virtual assistant or whatever, for them to finish it off for us, or a work colleague, or whatever it is. So that could be automation. So automation could be sorry, I missed that. Work colleagues, okay, or your team, okay, or whether it's above or below you or the same level as you, whatever you can share with your team to get your team to finish off, because you've done your bit, and then it's up to them to try and help you so that they do their bit. Okay, let me just check. Yeah, that's still happening. Okay. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So they're my 3 A's, and that's what matters. So then we come to to kind of do this again. Now that we know about the 3 A's, so you're not going to like this necessarily a lot. This is the reality, okay? And the reason why you need to be efficient when you're working at home is so you get more done. If when you try and dodge work at home, okay, it's not gonna work. Okay, I don't want to use self-talk, but it's a fail. Okay, because you're doing the wrong thing. Okay? There's no doubt about it. You're doing the wrong thing. You can't dodge work when you're at home. There's no point wasting time when you're working at home, because you have to you have to finish the work before you can leave home, basically. So we need to know what we're doing. So the sad truth is, and you're not going to like this, but this is true. The things that are not really going to help you with your work, in most cases, it's checking emails. Okay? So in the Tim Ferriss 4-hour work week, he only checks emails once a day, whatever it is, at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., whatever it is. Okay, and that could go with phone calls as well. I mean, depending what job you do, maybe you can't avoid phone calls, but or maybe you can't avoid emails. It depends. Sometimes there are, but just checking emails, when they ping, it makes you like Pavlov's dog. So the email comes in and you drop everything you're doing and you go check it. That you absolutely 100% need to avoid. Okay, because it's not productive. We can't work on somebody else's demands, because they're always going to be somebody else's demands. It will never stop. If you're an entrepreneur, then don't check the email regularly. Just do it at 3 p.m. Okay, but don't respond to email pings. Okay, and same with phone calls if you can. Okay, normally people will understand that you're busy working and that your time for phone calls or emails, whatever it is, you make it, and people can book the call with you, and then that way they get into the habit of knowing that they can't just ring you on a whim. And if you're a freelancer, that's even more important than ever, because the client will always expect you to be at their what's that expression? Dropping. I remember. Anyway, their whim. Anyway, okay. And we absolutely again want to 100% avoid that if we at all possibly can, or at least reduce it. But ideally, we need to work on our own schedules, not on theirs. But don't respond to pings and instant demands. At the worst, check your email every hour or something. But that's way too much, to be honest. But anyway, you get the point. Surfing, not normally productive unless you're actually a researcher, and and surfing is your part of your job. Surfing isn't going to do that. And in that, I'm going to include cat videos and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and curiosity stuff, and in particular rabbit holes. Okay, I'm sure you've legitimately gone to look something up, and then you get distracted, and then 6 pages later, you've forgotten what it was you went even to go and actually legitimately research. So don't go down the rabbit holes. Okay, they're the main ones, really, to be honest. But I know how easy it is to go into this mindless loop of, and sorry, actually, I need to put Facebook in here. So checking Facebook and social media, and also your mobile phone, SMS messages and all that. Okay, because it's very easy to get in this Groundhog Day loop of, checking your email, going to search Facebook, checking your phone, going to search your emails, going to check Facebook, checking your mobile. I mean, literally, we can do that for hours. In fact, we can do it all day if we wanted to. And obviously that's bad. And as I say, when you're working at home, when you're in isolation, you are your manager. You are your 100% motivation. You are your own boss. And you're not, you can't skive off work when you're at home. Okay. And the point is if we get the job done, then we can do what we want, and then we're not skiving off. Okay. And that's really the secret of an entrepreneur, is that he'll get what needs to be done, okay, with 100% commitment, and then he knows that the rest of his day is his or hers. Okay, and that's the difference. Whereas, when you're an employee with an employee mentality, you're thinking, how can I get the clock to go to 5 o'clock so that I can go home. Okay, but when you're working at home, we can't afford that kind of sloppy lack of motivation. Okay, basically you're working at home, you're your own boss. As soon as you get the job done, then your time is your own. Okay, and that's the beauty of not having a clock. Not a stop clock. Maybe it is a stop clock. Having a stop clock or having someone breathing down your neck, a manager breathing down your neck. Okay, when you're working at home, if you have the motivation to actually get the job done, then the rest of the day is your own. Okay. Now, in terms of my world, as I say, the only things that actually matter is the AAA. So if it isn't that I'm creating an asset, or if it isn't that I'm creating an advert, which is basically telling people what I've done, which may be the assets that I've made, and if it isn't about automation, which means delivering the actual thing or making the system of delivering the thing, something that I don't have to manually do. And as I say, that could include, VA or staff or literally automation, but I'll just leave that there. They're the only things that I should actually be doing. Okay. So basically I need to be making an asset, which is something that I can reuse. Then basically I tell people, that I've done that. Tell people that I've made asset. Okay. And then I, automate, whatever's left. Okay. And that's it. And when I've done that, then I basically can have the rest of the day off, because that's what I need to achieve. So there was a survey recently, which actually said that most people, who go to work, actually only get, and I'm not exaggerating, 2 hours of work done. So between meetings and reporting and all that kind of stuff, and going to places and having to liaise and get the bits they need in one place and waiting for people to respond and all this sort of thing, actually they only got 2 hours of work done. So when you work at home, you could actually apparently work for only 2 hours if you actually got the job done. Okay, and then the rest of the day is yours. Okay, and that's a lot of freedom, to do that. Okay, so working from home is great as long as you don't try and fiddle yourself, by trying to dodge work when you're working at home, because you can't dodge the work when you're working at home. There's only one rule, or rule anyway. But it's not judged by the clock. Okay? At 5 o'clock, it doesn't matter whether you finished or not. If you finish at 11, then you can finish at 11. The rest of the day is yours. But if you haven't finished by 5, you're working at home. You're going to tend to keep working. So it's not judged by the clock. It's judged by the result, basically. Which again, work may do that as well. But specifically when you're at home, that's really the only metric. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for, metric. Okay. And as I say, you can't dodge work when you're working at home. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we know what we should be doing, and we know that when we've done what we should be doing, the rest of the day is as. We know that there's no point dodging work when you're working at home. So what does the perfect day look like? If we could control our work, what would we do? So in an ideal world, we'd probably collect our thoughts, or maybe plan, although I think planning should be done at a different point. But we can probably better than that is, rather than say collect our thoughts, it's really we need to prepare. Okay, so that might be mentally, it might be getting physical stuff together, it might be setting up our workspace, but we need to prepare. Okay, then we need basically to get the one thing done that we need to do that day. Okay, and sorry, when I say needed, I don't really mean needed. I really mean essential for today. Okay, because there are lots of things that need to be done, but most of them don't have any benefit. Okay, they don't actually put food on the table. Okay, but there's usually one thing that you really need to get out the door today. Okay, and out the door is my big kind of mental um, guide, as to what needs to happen. So what do I need to get out the door today? Okay, everything else is nice to have, important, all these demands on me. But regardless of all that, what's the one thing that needs to get done? Well, in my world, it's to create the asset, and then to tell people that I've made the asset. That's that. That's the key. If I don't do that, then the future doesn't happen. Okay, so that for me is the big thing. Okay, and then to be honest, I need a break, and I need to celebrate that. And I know that that might seem self-indulgent and not really work, but when you're working at home, that's where the motivation comes from. Okay, and also in terms of productivity, that's what makes it work. Okay, so really, this is a productivity recharge. Okay, and we want to be able to to step back and enjoy and celebrate and appreciate what we've done, because we're our own manager. We need to tell ourselves well done when we've done it. Okay, and I would do that on its own, to be honest. But the other thing is we've done that and we've achieved that, and now we can take a time out to share, with whoever, our partner or our children or whatever it is, or friends or whatever, because we're working at home. Okay, we're our own boss. We've done the thing that we most needed to do. We can afford to take the time out. We should take the time we should take the time out, because we're doing more than somebody who goes to work does. Because most people who go to work don't do the one thing that they should really do. Okay, and if this is the perfect day, the perfect lifestyle, then why wouldn't we take this time out? And then this also alleviates the pressure, okay, in relationships and everything, because you're working at home, you've closed the door, you're saying don't disturb me like a grumpy old git, and people don't get it. So that alleviates all of that pressure, by making sure that we aren't like that we actually take the time out and give them quality time. Okay, I haven't got time to really put that in. Maybe quality time. Anyway, that's what we want. We want quality time. So if we give them quality time regularly, we're going to get a ton out of that, and so will they. And as I say, it removes all that pressure, and then you're kind of in the clear to carry on working. Okay, so then what would the next ideal thing would be? Well, it would be this mystical thing that I said at the beginning, which is to grow. Okay, where you take on new stuff. Okay, and we should make that part of our day. Actually, make that deliberately part of our day. Now, you see how none of this involved checking my emails or surfing Facebook or anything like that. There wasn't time, to be honest, because this is the important stuff. This is the stuff that I actually want to do. So I don't need to Skype off work, which you can't do when you're working at home. This is what I want to do. I want to grow. Okay, I want to do some new stuff. I want to try some new things. I want to try out new ways. I want to, do what I can, to have, an exciting, fulfilling life. Okay. Then maybe we do, some of the backlog of stuff. Okay. Which still for me is going to be, the AAA thing. But there will be a pile of stuff. Now I'm not a fan of to-do lists at all. Okay. But in most people's terms, it would be to carry on through their to-do list. Okay. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, I think. But whatever the backlog is, and then we would take, surprise, surprise. Can I copy that over with that? Probably not. No. Okay. Then we take another timeout where we, share with our whoever's. Okay, actually, I missed a thing here probably. That one over there. There we go. By now, it's probably lunchtime. So again, we can take the time out to have lunch, have a proper lunch, share it with the thing. Don't have a working lunch. Okay, don't damn well eat at the computer. Okay, we want to, really, we want to, go out. Maybe we can't go out if there's a total lockdown, but we can do, some exercise or whatever we can do, indoors, whatever it is. But we want to do something different. And most importantly is we want a change of environment. I'm just about scene because it can take up too much space. Change of scene. So change rooms. Okay, change rooms or go out. Ideally, if we're allowed out in a lockdown. But change rooms. Okay, really important. Okay, because when you come back, you'll have a fresh perspective, and you'll be more efficient. Okay, and I'm going to have to do another one of these. And let me leave that one blank. And that's probably going to go there. And get rid of this. Okay, so then what do we want to do? So let's have a look at our routine. Okay, so we've kind of got a routine in here in that we're preparing, we're doing the thing we must do, we're taking breaks, and spending quality time, we're growing, done a bit of our backlog, we've had a rest basically with lunch, change of scene. Okay, really important. Okay, we're leaving that one blank. What else do we need to do? So we run this routine, and here I think we need to interact and plan. Okay, so whatever that is in your job, that's what you do. So we want to network with other people and share our time with other people and get their input and excitement and energy. Okay, and that's another important thing of what we want to do. Because we want to make a difference basically in other people's eyes. So we need to be with other people in order to do that. So this is the people bit. Okay. Then again, we're going to take a time out, and spend quality time, with a partner or whatever, or or with yourself if you haven't got that, and do that. Okay. So then, what would we do in a perfect day? Actually, someone's going to work out like that. Then again, I think we would take time to grow, but maybe we're growing something different this time. But we want to learn how to do things, new and different. So let's do that. Let's make that part of, our perfect day. It's our You know, we're the boss. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Then maybe we would, you know, do this again. Okay, now look at what's happened. We've spent 3 quality times with our whoever. Okay. And this is great, isn't it? Because, you know, we can't do that when we're at work. And we've spent 3 quality times, and then the pressure on us, you know, they're going to allow us to work. Okay, because we're not ignoring them all the day. We're not being, you know, distant or reachable or anything. It's the 3rd time in the day that we've done this. Okay, then we would probably do some more of this backlog and to-do list, and we'll talk about that more, you know, later or next time. Okay, and then I'm going to put something unusual in here, which is basically, you know, again, we need, you know, a change of scene, or change rooms, that kind of thing. Okay? But in particular, to do something, you know, kind of to work out, you know, physically. So yeah, it doesn't have to be strenuous. It might just be, you know, standing up or walking or any, you know, looking out the window or going in the garden, that kind of thing. You know, just to kind of let our subconscious work out problems. Okay. And it's amazingly productive, this. So it seems like you're not working, but you're actually, you know, processing all these things in the background, you know, to do this, to do what comes next. And then we want to basically, because we should be recharged now, we want to, you know, start, well, no, maybe not start, yeah, we want to tackle part of a project. Okay, or in other words, achieve I'm going to put it this way, practice an achievable goal. Okay, so whatever's coming up next, you know, now's the time to get it done. But, you know, we're going to be realistic with our goals, as we've said before. We're not going to expect to finish in, you know, one day. So we're going to break it down into chunks, and we're going to do that chunk, you know, now. Okay, and then, you know, the most important thing is to stop work at a regular time. Okay, and you need to be, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You need to be, you know, real with yourself. And, you know, if you're going to say, yeah, I'll work till 9 p.m. at night, you know, that's wrong. That's bad. Okay. You know, you've worked much harder than anybody would do at work. Okay. You've achieved more than anybody at work. And you've been happy doing it, and you've spent 3 quality times, you know, with whoever, and you've had lunch, and you've had, you know, a physical workout, and you've had 2 changes of scene. Okay, you've done a lot of stuff. Okay, now we do have the benefit of not having to travel to work back, you know, forwards for, you know, an hour, you know, 2 hours a day, and maybe those 2 hours would go on. But, you know, you need to be fair to your family as well. So really, I would say 6 p.m. Now, to be honest, I abuse that, and it's more like 7 p.m. for myself. So I'm not being totally, you know, congruent with you there. But not more than 7 p.m. Okay, but really, if I was being, you know, fair to myself, it would be 6 p.m. Now, the problem for me is, you know, I love my job because I get to be creative. And, you know, if I didn't have to work, what I would do is be creative. So it's kind of hard for me, but it's not fair on my health, you know, because this is another thing, you know, that we have here. You know, it's the issue of, you know, if you're working at home, you're going to kind of have a sedimentary lifestyle. Okay. And that causes a huge stress on your body. you're working at a computer all the time, so you're getting, repetitive strain injury. For our own health, we need to not, be a slave driver to ourselves. Okay, it's really important, because the one thing you can't do, ever, you can't get time back is one thing, but the other thing is you can never get health back. Okay, not really. When you've done a muscle in, or you've got diabetes, then you've got it, and it's super super hard to reverse anything like that. So we absolutely need to not put ourselves at risk. Okay, again, we're the boss, we're in charge. Why would we be a slave driver and make ourselves work like we're in a sweatshop? There's no need. And again, we've achieved 3 times as much as anyone who actually goes to work. Okay, so why would we do that? It's not fair. So now from 6 p.m, you should be able to do whatever you want. Okay, now if you look at that day, for me, that's kind of the perfect day. Okay, there's a low pressure start. People aren't distracting me all the time, but I'm not wasting time surfing and checking Facebook and emails either. Okay, maybe this one, maybe this one is, it's a check-in time. Okay, maybe that's about 3 o'clock by there. But I'm not on a ping bell. Okay, when my email comes in, I'm not checking it instantly. I'm not Pavlov's dog. I check the email when I'm ready, because I'm doing stuff. Okay, and people just need to know that's what you do, and that's why we have VAs and staff anyway, so that somebody else can do those kind of things, really. But if you're working on your own, you're a freelancer, or you're working from home, maybe you don't have that luxury, but you can, not check your emails, for a couple of hours or something, and just, let people know, I won't be checking emails. I'll only be checking emails every 2 hours, or I'll only be checking emails at 3 p.m. ideally. But whatever you can get away with. Anyway, low pressure start. We get the one thing done that's really essential, that will actually put food on the table. Okay, that's the thing. What is your project? What are you responsible for? What will you get the sack if you don't do? Okay, that's the food on the table moment. Okay, and then we have a break to celebrate that, where you just sit back, reflect. It's self chill time. Okay, and you deserve it. Okay, honestly, you deserve it. Let's turn it down the fraction. Sorry. There we go. And then, we spend some quality time with whoever's around us, or, it's me time if it's not you, and we're done. Then we do some new stuff. We grow. Then we can do our backlog stuff, and we'll talk about that another time. And then we actually have lunch. We actually have the time out to go to lunch, and we literally change rooms. Okay, that's the most important thing of this, is that you need to change rooms. Don't have a working lunch. Okay, we're not at work now. Don't have a working lunch. Stop. Have lunch. Okay, because it's productivity here. If you do this, you're gonna, sap all the energy out of you. You're going to go into Groundhog Day. It's going to be endless work with no, sign of relief, and you're going to get demotivated, and you're going to self-sabotage yourself subconsciously, if not consciously. Okay, so far the day's pretty good as far as I'm concerned, and then it just carries on like that. I don't need to go through it again. Okay, now your perfect day may well be different to mine, but this is kind of, what my perfect day would be like. But look at the stuff in it. It's just all great. Okay, it's all great. Okay, the only thing that's little tedious is the checking. But, it's not constantly, check my emails as soon as the thing goes ping. Okay, that would stop our productivity. So we need to kind of follow this plan. But everything here is great. Okay, I've got time to be with, people. I've got time to interact. I've got time to discuss things. all of this kind of thing, and I've got time to grow, and if that might even be learning stuff, okay, or it might be doing stuff in new ways or thinking, just new ideas, experimenting, whatever, and then we're getting this big stuff done. Okay, we're getting this big stuff done. These big projects that are coming up, we're actually getting them done here. Okay, but chunking them down, having time to do them, not constantly firefighting. That's the big thing that you might notice here. And then we need a routine. We need to actually stop work at a fixed time. Okay, so I've gone over time and I haven't even finished. So we'll do the rest, another time. And we'll do the miracle cure. Yeah, we haven't done that. So let me just put a slide in there. So I'll see you again on Monday now. So I'm actually having the weekend off because, again, why wouldn't I? I've done more work than most people would do at work. Okay. And we'll carry on with this. If you've got ideas, tell me what works for you, what doesn't work for you. If you think I'm talking complete nonsense, what your routine would be, what your ideal day would be, how you would do it differently to what I'm suggesting, etc., etc. But I hope you can see that this day, this perfect day working at home is so much better than going to work 9 to 5. And as I say, that's why this is such a great opportunity. But if you're working from home, don't get bogged down and spend endless hours and think that you're still at work and that you need to skive till 5 o'clock and you can go and it's done. When you're working from home, you have to get the thing done. Okay, we're going to have realistic goals. We're not going to let people bully us into doing more than we normally do. We're putting in an incredible amount of time and energy, and we're really, really focusing. Okay, so instead of the normal 2 hours of work that we might do if we actually went to work, by working at home, we've probably put in a good 4 or 6 hours here. Okay, I know that may not sound like a lot, but look what we've done. We've done an incredible amount of stuff. And we've had a huge amount of fun, doing it, and we've grown and we're developing and we're getting stronger and stronger. Okay, and that 6 hours is amazing, and it's still 3 times more than anyone who goes to work would ever do. And and that means we could take 2 days off early. 2 hours off early, or in fact, maybe what I said. Have slightly longer days, 4 days a week. Maybe you can take a whole day off. Not go into your home office or whatever. Anyway, I don't want to go more over time, so that's basically it. I'll have a quick look to see if I can answer any questions. I don't think there are any outstanding yet, but you can always leave the questions at any time, and I will always see them and I can answer them on the next show. Okay, now as I say, I don't need to be the only host of this. If you want to take a slot and join me, then just PM me. The messenger link is on the Facebook fan page, Project Smile MF. And just message me and tell me that you want to join me as your co-host on this show, and we can do that. And that would be exciting for me and exciting for the audience because it won't just be me. Okay, so I'd be pleased if you did that. And that's it. So that's it for now. I shall see you next time. And that's it. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.